Hi, my name is Kaline Mouawad, and I'm a grade 11 student. Today, I want to talk about something I call the frames of fear. Those invisible borders that hold us back, that make us afraid to lose what we know. When you hear the word frame, you often think about a picture hanging on a wall, something beautiful, but also something limited. Frames set boundaries, what we can hear, what we can see, and even what we believe is possible. But life often challenges us to look beyond the frame. And what happens when you actually step out of it? For me, this idea is not only a theory, it is something personal. Ever since I was very young, I was always afraid of what might happen if the frame of my family life ever changed. I wasn't afraid of losing them to death, but of losing them to distance. And in Lebanon, where I grew up, the country was struggling with instability. So in 2018, my dad had to leave to work in Africa when I was only 9 years old, in order to ensure that we had food on the table, education, and healthcare. 2 years later, my oldest sister left to study in the US. And the year after her, my other sister left too. One by one, the people who filled my frame began to step out of it. After that, it was just my mom and me. Our daily life completely changed. Family dinners turned into quiet meals for two. Sometimes, we'd go to the restaurant, just the two of us, sitting together, trying to make the table feel less empty. Our conversations became shorter. The house, it felt bigger, not because it grew, but because fewer voices filled it. I started to notice the smallest things. One less plate on the table, one less voice calling from another room, one less love in the hallway. And Sundays used to be our family day. We'd go to the mall, walk around, eat, laugh, argue about what store to go into, complain about who was walking too slowly, and somehow still enjoy every second of it. It wasn't about going out. It was about knowing that no matter how busy the week was, Sunday belonged to us. But then, Sundays also changed. They became quiet. No more family chaos. No more shared meals. No more voices overlapping. Just silence. And the feeling that something and someone important is missing from the picture. Now, you're probably thinking that it couldn't get any worse, right? But it did. Just when I thought I had adjusted, just when I thought I had found my place, nearly 2 years ago, my mother had to leave to be with my sisters. Just like that, the last person who was always there for me stepped out of the frame. So I was left here, living mostly on my own. That's when life truly shifted. I was still a student, but I had to start living like an adult. I had to get my own food from the supermarket. I had to manage my time. I had to take care of myself. After all, I still went out with my friends, whom I'm very grateful for, but transportation became something I constantly had to think about. Who would pick me up? How would I get back home? Every plan required organizing. By such, independence wasn't a choice anymore. It was a necessity. And that's how my days became routine. I'd come home from school, eat, study, sleep, on repeat. Every day looked almost the same, lasting for nearly 2 years. So, with all of this, I became really good at smiling. So good that people thought I was always okay. I smiled, I joked, I showed up like nothing could ever hurt me. But that smile was also a frame, a cover I used to hide what was really happening inside. Behind it were feelings that I didn't know how to share. Fear, sadness, moments of loneliness. So I didn't want to rear anyone, so I kept everything behind the scenes, behind my mask. And little by little, I started to notice that the happiest face in the room can be the one holding the most silent weight. At first, with all of these changes, that empty frame was terrifying. But over time, something changed. I realized that what I feared the most, being alone, gave me strength. I learned how to take responsibility, how to manage my life, and that even if the picture changes, the frame of my life can still expand. But there's something else I've learned. Every time my family comes to visit me here in Lebanon, I have to remind myself that it's only temporary, that they will leave again, that the goodbyes will return. But instead of letting that break me, I've learned how to appreciate every moment even more to live fully inside it. And actually, through all of this, one thing never changed. My parents and my sisters never left my side. They stood by my side in every possible way, supporting me, encouraging me, and reminding me that I was never truly alone. Mom, can you stand up for a second? So this is her. She's not on a screen, not through a phone. She's right now, in this moment, with me. And having you here today and seeing you in front of me while I'm standing on this stage means more than I could ever put into words. And that's how I learned that no matter how far life takes us from each other, the people who truly love us never really leave our frame. Now, when I think about beyond the frames, I think about how frames can hold memories, but also trap us in fear. To look beyond them, you have to accept change. You have to embrace distance. And you have to understand that losing a picture allows you to paint a new one. Now, my picture is still being painted. But what I know is this: the frames you inherit don't have to define us. We can look beyond them, step past them, and build a life that is larger, freer, and more beautiful than we ever imagined. Thank you.